Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. Today I want to update you on GodTube's removal of 4 of my prophecy videos over the weekend of January the 2nd and 3rd. These videos all deal with President Barack Obama, World War III, and the prophecies of Daniel in chapter 7 and chapter 11. In chapter 7, Daniel states that Barack Obama is the third beast which comes up out of the sea, and that is the leopard. He, of course, states this under hidden symbolism. In chapter 11, Daniel reveals that Barack Obama will be the last king of the South, because his forebears came from Kenya, which is due south of Jerusalem. All of these prophecies GodTube has removed from their site, while at the same time GodTube allows false prophets like Chuck Missler, John Hagee, Doug Batchelor, Erwin Baxter, and Hal Lindsey to continue to preach on their channel. Some of these false prophets even teach false doctrines about Christianity. For example, Doug Batchelor says that Jesus Christ is the same as the Archangel Michael. People have told me that Erwin Baxter does not believe in the Trinity, although I'm not sure if he teaches that on GodTube. What is extremely important, however, is that all of these false prophets teach that Israel will be invaded by Russia in the end times. This is one of the great delusions of the end times. When Jesus comes at Armageddon, he comes against all the nations of the world, including the nation of Israel. American foreign policy for the last 60 years has been based on the false prophecy that Israel has to fear the Soviet Union. This is baloney. America has built up Israel to be one of the foremost military powers in the world. This means that Israel has no incentive to negotiate with the duly elected government of Hamas or the Palestinians. They know they have the military might supplied by the United States to crush Hamas without negotiation. And by the way, where is Barack Obama? Barack Obama ran on a platform of negotiations with the Muslims. Why doesn't he advise Israel to do the same thing? It's becoming increasingly clear that GodTube is not a Christian ministry, but simply another commercial enterprise, just like the false prophets. They do not dare preach true Christianity. They do not preach what Jesus himself said about Israel. Jesus said that in the end times, Israel would accept the Antichrist. He made it very clear. He said, "I have come in my Father's name, and you did not accept me. Another will come in his own name, and him you will accept. This other is the Antichrist." None of the false prophets that I have mentioned will preach to you what Jesus said about the nation of Israel in the end times. The censorship of GodTube, of my true prophecy about Barack Obama, is exactly the kind of censorship which the founding fathers of this country tried to avoid by adding the First Amendment to the Constitution. Freedom of speech pertains particularly to this type of speech. This is the type of speech that GodTube is banning. They don't mind false prophecy. They don't mind false doctrine about Christianity. But true prophecy about Barack Obama, about World War III, and the true prophecy of the end times is not allowed on GodTube. This is my warning to you. Avoid GodTube. They are part of the New World Order. They have joined the One World Religion. And if you would like more information, simply write to the address you see on the screen.